Fellow Nigerians, recently the American government killed Iranian Army General Suleiman, and something interesting started to happen in Nigeria. Some Nigerian sponsors hired protesters and they printed some banners, and the protesters marched on the streets of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, Nigeria. On their banners, they wrote the inscriptions, "Death to America, death to Israel." There are some questions we must ask. Who are those that sponsored the march? It's quite interesting that throughout the protest march, the police did not arrest anybody. They did not shoot tear gas. Nobody was detained. The police were just silent, very unlike them. DSS kept silent. Nobody was arrested. DSS would keep quiet to protesters who plan to execute their death threats to other countries that have embassies in our country, Nigeria. Is the regime of Major General Muhammadu Buhari retired, institutionalizing terrorism by asking DSS to be silent to such terrorist threats? This is the same Israel who in 1984, Muhammadu Buhari went to get mercenaries to kidnap Umar Odigo from the United Kingdom. This is the same US of A that Buhari goes to either to ask for funds or for materials or any type of support or beg for aids. Is our problem Israel? Is our problem the United States of America? And we are using the same hired protesters that protest against Amnesty International for the good works they are doing in Nigeria. Those hired, the same people hired to protest against the good work of Femi Falana, senior advocate of Nigeria. The same people that are protesting against pro-democracy activists that are fighting for their well-being. And this is all happening because the government has weaponized hunger. Therefore, they just pick vulnerable Nigerians and give them 500 naira or 1,000 naira and put them on the street to ignorantly protest for what they know nothing about. They never protested against the common insecurity and hardship in Nigeria, but they are protesting against the insecurity in other countries. The irony of it is that the protesters are supporting Iran. We have no problem with Iran. But this is the same Iran because of whom the government of Nigeria is still detaining Ibrahim Sheikh El-Zakzaky. Because according to the government, he has ties with Iran. Over 100 Shiite Muslims have been killed in the course of their unarmed protest marches, simply because they have ties with the government of Iran. Now, DSS has arrested and unlawfully detained pro-democracy activists. They have arrested people like Omoyele Shore, Luwole Bakari, and many others for fighting for the well-being of our people. But the same DSS is silent when protesters are threatening international stability of other countries launched from the Nigerian soil. This is double standard. You arrest well-meaning pro-democracy protesters and you remain silent to paid protesters? No! What has DSS or SSS done to arrest the many security challenges in Nigeria? People are being killed every day. No intelligence report. No proactive actions are taken to prevent some of these occurrences. So what is DSS doing? Now governors are forming regional security outfits because they have lost trust in the intelligence system and the politics of the security services of Nigeria. DSS detained Mr. Anthony Okolie from Delta State. They transported him in handcuffs and leg iron to Abuja. Why? because he used a SIM card, a telephone number that was recycled by the network provider MTN. That number was previously used by the daughter of the president, Buhari, Hanan. But it was recycled by MTN, which was not the fault of this young man because he bought it legally in the shop. He was detained for 10 weeks and his business was collapsed. His family collapsed. We do hope that Mr. Okolie will stand up for his fundamental human rights because there are legal consequences against DSS and MTN for the incarceration that he went through. 12 hours, maximum 24 hours was enough for DSS to find out that this young man was innocent, but they kept him there for 10 weeks. Because we run a system that has no respect for the rule of law or for human rights. Another man was detained for 4 years for receiving a telephone call purportedly from a terrorist. 48 hours was enough for an efficient DSS to investigate whether that man was innocent. Where are our rights as a people? Yet, DSS is silent to a group of persons that are dishing out terrorist threats by saying death to America, death to Israel from the Nigerian soil. Why are you treating Nigerians like animals? Because you are security officers? Will you be happy to be handled like that? If you are not security agents, you just arrest somebody, put them in your detention facilities. Even when the court orders you to release them, you don't respect the orders of the court because you are above the law. And that is why the Chief Justice of Nigeria must regularly pay visits to the detention facilities of DSS because many Nigerians are languishing there unjustly, most of them unjustly. If the Chief Justice of Nigeria means well to this country, Nigeria, he must regularly pay visits to detention facilities of DSS and indeed other Nigerian prisons. Every Nigerian has a right to express, associate, and protest peacefully. Nobody must take those rights away from us, whether a temporary president or that comes and goes or any security agent. It's an aberration that we live in foreign countries, our rights are respected, we will stand up to protect our rights, but at home, a few persons trample upon our rights because they feel that they hold the reins of government. No Nigerian, living or dead, own Nigeria more than Nigerians. That is why the government is fighting dirty to introduce obnoxious laws against the use of the social media by Nigerians in order to guard us and have the opportunity to subvert the rule of law and spirit away our commonwealth. We say no. Americans carried out that action against the Iranian commander using a drone. Where is the drone bought and displayed ridiculously by the Nigerian army? Even as Boko Haram continue to kill our soldiers and civilians. In 2007, Nigeria spent 40 billion naira to launch a communication satellite. The satellite disappeared. The government said no, it didn't disappear, that the battery went flat in space and that the satellite has been packed. Where is the satellite? That would have boosted communication in Nigeria, even to remote areas. Some people just come with some phony ideas, siphon money from the government, embark on failed projects, and nobody's talking about it. 2007. Now we are in 2020. 13 years. Where is the satellite? We shall discuss that elaborately. Where is the satellite? I do hope that Nigerians have learned a lot from all the hardship and the insecurity we are going through now, so that in 2023, never again must we be led or governed by this set of people. Never again. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.